Does this look like any dental office you have been in? I see people trying to see the slide. I get the comment all the time, I said what was appropriate. I don't know why they got so mad. Have you ever had that with your staff? I have no idea what just went on, or even a spouse or your kids. I want to talk to you a little bit about what is the secret for what happened here. Back years ago, when I first started studying communication, we talked about red letter words, powerful words. We talked about reflective listening. We had all kinds of things that we added to our communication. But the bottom line is that we were all wrong. Basic communication now we know is words. I thought I had those colors just perfect. Words are 7% of our communication. Tone is 38% of our communication. And body language is 55% of our communication. That means 93% of the time I'm not using words. And 55% of the time I don't even have my mouth open. You say, well, how does that affect the dental office? Well, let me just show you a little bit how this plays out. Years ago, I did a seminar on how to say no to drugs. I was going into high schools and helping kids to learn how to say no. And this is what you see oftentimes. This is some drugs that somebody's trying to sell me. No, I promised my mom I wouldn't use. Nah, I don't want it today. What did I say? What did I say? Did I say no? From my words, I said no, didn't I? From my tone, I said, push me a little bit and I'll be buying. And from my body language, I said, give it to me now. I'm salivating. That's good for teaching kids how to say no to drugs, because what we had to teach them was words, tone, and body language all had to say the same thing. No, I am not going to be buying drugs, and you walk away. How does that play out in the dental office? Let's say the doctor just came back from a seminar. You know, the ones where they go and they learn all these new things and they come back and hand you the list of things that you're supposed to arrange in the office. But let's just say the doctor comes back and he has heard this amazing way of learning how to advance your patient acceptance. So he hands assignments out to the staff and he's going to divide us up into teams. I look at my assignment and I'm assigned to work with Judy. Of all people on the staff, do I have to work with Judy? I don't like Judy. I've never liked Judy, and I'm never going to like Judy, and now I'm stuck having to work with her. Here's the first day of the meeting. Hi, Judy. Yeah, I guess you were as excited as I was over the doctor telling us we were going to be working together. Well, I guess we might as well get started. Really going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. From my experience, within just a few minutes, there's either going to be icy cold silence or angry words, correct? Doctor comes out and says, what's the matter with you, Luan? I thought you understood the importance of this for your career and for the office. And I look at him and I say very politely, Doctor, I told Judy I was very happy to be able to work with her on the assignment, and I told her I was looking forward to what we were going to be able to do. I don't know what her problem is. She's always angry. Did I say the truth to the doctor? Yes, my words said the exact same thing that I was supposed to be doing, but my tone and my body language gave it away because my thoughts preceded my words. You say you cannot not communicate. I know this is a negative, but every thought, every feeling, every part of your being is going to be communicated in this tone and body language. It's like telling your kids you love them and you want them to go to sleep and have a good night when all you want is to go out and be able to watch TV with your spouse for a while. They know it, and they know that you really want to get out there because that's your body language. And so you have trouble putting them to bed. So thoughts precede behavior. The first thing we have to do is figure out how to control our thoughts. If I don't like Judy, or I want my kids to go to bed so I can have some free time, it is going to be communicated. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior must match. This is complicated, isn't it? What if you really don't like Judy? How are you going to be able to communicate? Well, Stephen Covey says, seek first to understand and then be understood. This concept is amazing. If I really try to understand you, it's going to further our communication. Back when I was little, my grandma told me, when I got mad, I was supposed to count to 10. Was I better at the end of 10 seconds or not better? I was worse. You see, I had 10 whole seconds to think about how bad the situation was, why I had every right to be mad at you, and bam, at the end of 10 seconds, I was furious. What happens when we seek first to understand then? Like, what in the world could be going on here? How come this is not working? What is wrong with that person? Now, sometimes you can figure it out, sometimes you can't. But the idea is to understand what is going on. I use a formula. I understand my problem is, and I offer a solution. You see, well, have you ever told your front desk they have a hot seat? That's a really tough spot to be in. Everybody's mad. Doctor's mad, staff's mad, patients are mad. And all you want to do is get rid of the anger. I've been in those kinds of situations. If I try to get rid of the anger that they are coming at me with, well, this isn't fair, I didn't do anything, I'm just doing my job, it's not going to go over very good. But if I first try to understand, like, what is really going on here? Why is that patient mad? And then I come up with something like, I understand we have been very tardy today. And I understand you had to sit and wait. My problem is we had an emergency. May I please offer you a free coffee next door, and then we'll go on from there. Seek first to understand because you're saying, I understand. The secret of that is that you don't focus on yourself anymore. You are focusing on them and what is it that made them mad. Now, you can use this with your kids. You can say, I understand you want to play a little bit longer. My problem is it's time for bed. Let's do a story time, and then we'll all go to bed together. Let's go back to Judy. What if I said to Judy, you know, Judy, we've had our tough times. We haven't always gotten along. We haven't always seen eye to eye. However, the doctor really is involved in this new procedure and wants it to be successful. And I know that it's going to be good for our careers. So Judy, how about if we sit down and put together some guidelines on how we think we can get this working together? What do you say? Are my chances improving of working with Judy? See, my tone is neutral and my body language is accepting because I'm trying to understand first. Seek first to understand and then be understood. The problem we have is choices. Shakespeare says, the choices we make dictate the lives that we live. See, if I choose to stay stuck in my own concept of me and why I deserve to be treated better, I'm not going to be successful. But if I start thinking about you and what you have needs for and what your problems are, it is going to be much better. So it's all about choices. What choices are you making on a regular daily basis that are going to help you communicate? Are you choosing to focus on the person and what they really need, or maybe what the patient is feeling? Are they really scared right now? If you said something like, I understand, it's really frightening to go to a dentist, especially when you have a bad toothache. I'd like to offer you this and whatever it is that you have for comfort in your office. Will that help? Seek first to understand and then be understood. The choices that we make. Now, Brian Tracy says that right now you are the sum total of every single decision you've ever made in your whole entire life. And 10 years from now, you will still be the sum total of every single decision you've ever made in your entire life. So the decisions you make today are not only going to affect your career, but your office and everything else that is in the process of going forward in terms of your decision making. So today I would challenge each one of you to seek first to understand and then be understood. And as Shakespeare said, it's all up here. Thank you.